Hi, I'm Bob McCoskrie. Well, Father's Day is coming up and it's time to talk about the importance of dads. In 2018, we released a report, Why Fathers Matter, and it argues that no society can thrive without as many fathers as possible being involved daily in the lives of their children. The report's author, Glenn Stanton from Focus on the Family in the US, and who has written previous reports for us on the importance of mothers and also about the problems of gender ideology, he says this: fathers are important because they are not mothers. Research shows that infants can determine the difference between mum and dad caring and playing with them from the first weeks of life, simply because mum and dad do these tasks differently. This is the child's first and perhaps most important lesson about being human, that there are two types of human beings in the world, male and female, each with wonderful and very distinct qualities. A balance between mum's and dad's ways is vital for healthy child development. Now, differences in parenting include how mum and dad prepare their children for life, the way fathers play and communicate with their children. Sometimes us dads are a little bit more rough and tumble. How they discipline. Dads can often be a little more black and white. And how they teach respect for the opposite sex. Good fathers teach their girls what they should expect and not tolerate from boys as they grow older. They protect their girls from poor choices in long-term relationships. And they also teach their sons, by the way the dads act themselves, how to treat and how not to treat women. But the report also notes that children have an impact on their fathers, including interesting and consequential changes to the physicality of the dad and also changes in his brain and hormones, even before the birth of his child. Now you can read this report and see the research for yourself on our website familyfirstnz. The report says no society can have too many dads, but every society can certainly have too few and suffer irreversible harm because of it. A fatherless family is one that walks with a substantial limp up a difficult incline. Single mums know this all too well. Now, someone else who knows this all too well is a man who grew up with a single mum, yet he became President of the United States. Barack Obama gave a sermon at the Apostolic Church of God in Chicago, Illinois on June 15th, 2008, as he was about to run for president. Have a listen.
Too many fathers are also missing. Too many fathers are MIA. Too many fathers are AWOL. Missing from too many lives and too many homes. They've abandoned their responsibilities. They're acting like boys instead of men. And the foundations of our family have suffered because of it. You and I know this is true everywhere, but nowhere is it more true than in the African American community. We know that more than half of all black children live in single-parent households. Half. A number that's doubled since we were children. We know the statistics that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime. They're 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in prison. They're more likely to have behavioral problems or run away from home or become teen parents because the father wasn't in the home. The foundations of our community and our country are weaker because of this. We need families to raise our children. We need fathers to recognize that responsibility doesn't just end at conception. That doesn't just make you a father. What makes you a man is not the ability to have a child. Any fool can have a child. That doesn't make you a father. It's the courage to raise a child that makes you a father. And listen to all the mothers out there. You need help. You need help. We need to help all those mothers out there who are raising their kids by themselves.
Well, you may not have agreed with some or many of his political decisions, and it's ironic that he championed a law change which meant that marriage was redefined so that fathers could be excluded from the picture. But he was dead right when he said, "We are reminded today that family is the most important, and we are called to recognise and honour how critical every father is to that foundation." Yep, they are critical. When we disregard the importance of fathers, society suffers. We need to honour fathers, encourage them in their parenting tasks, and do all we can as a society to make sure that every boy and girl, as much as is possible, grows up with the irreplaceable benefit of being loved and cared for every day by his or her own father. Even fathers who don't live with their children can be involved parents. And we need to ensure that public policy and laws allow for this and doesn't block good fathers from their important role. But as Obama said, some dads are MIA, missing in action, or AWOL, absent without leave. And we need to encourage and call to account every father we know and come into contact with to step up to the plate and fulfill their vital role. And that includes young males who one day may be fathers. It's never too soon to start developing their character for this life-changing role. And as the research shows, fatherhood is not only life-changing for the child, but it also affects the man physically, mentally and emotionally. His perspective on life will change. Suddenly the focus is not on himself, his focus is now on his family and his important role in loving, protecting and providing. It's quite a dramatic change, as any new father will tell you. So any public policy or community attitude or government bill that moves us away from respecting and valuing the role of fathers must be judged as flawed and contrary to the best and most reliable science on human development. Let me finish with a couple of quick lessons I've learnt as a father. And I became a dad 24 years ago, so I'm still a novice at this. So here's some advice for dads from a dad still in training. One of the most important things a father can do for his children is to love and respect their mother. The strength and stability of the parent relationship is what will help children with their own stability and development. Even in family breakdown, that respect is still possible. For the child, mum and dad will always be their mum and dad. And I believe that every child has two really important things they need to know. They need to know they are loved by mum and dad, and they need to know that mum and dad love each other. Now that last one sadly doesn't always happen, but it is a value we should always strive for and put effort into. Secondly, don't try to be the perfect dad, because there is no such thing. But if you're willing to admit your mistakes, yeah, I know, it's tough for us guys to do that sometimes, eh? If we're willing to admit our stuff-ups and always strive to be the best we can, we'll be a real dad. And your children will love and appreciate you for it, despite your flaws. It also gives them permission to realise that they don't have to be perfect either. Thirdly, be present as often as possible. And being there physically, at the school, at the sports, at the special occasions, may mean some sacrifice in terms of wealth and job status and career advancement. Yep, less money. My view is that there is a trade-off for most families. More money, less family. More family, less money. Yep, there's a few wealthy dads out there that may have got the work-family life balance just right, but I've known too many guys that have just wanted that extra income and overtime and promotion so they can provide all those needs for their family and be there more for their children. But by the time they've worked all those extra hours and got that money, the kids have either left home or they've checked out, if you know what I mean. Buy time for the children. As that saying goes, nobody ever lay on their deathbed wishing they'd spent more time at work. Fourthly, as much as possible, be at the dinner table. As you may know, a couple of years ago I decided to examine the research that had been done around the world specifically on the benefits of family eating together regularly. And what I found was that regular family dinners have a positive and protective effect which benefits families, and especially young people. The magic appears to be not around the food necessarily, but it's around the family engagement, the conversations, the strengthening of family bonds, and importantly, the role in helping children deal with the challenges of adolescence and peer pressure. It also provides important opportunities for parents and for you dads to communicate clear expectations around behaviour and family values. And they give opportunities for teenagers to express problems and concerns as they arise. And that's the basis of our billboard campaign. What your kids want for dinner is you. No, it's not about cannibalism. They want you at the table. And lastly, get married. Do all you can to stay married. Our recent report on child abuse in New Zealand and its causes tells an inconvenient truth. Family structure is the elephant in the room, and the growth of child abuse and family violence in our nation has accompanied a reduction in marriage and an increase in cohabiting and fatherlessness. The presence of biological fathers matters because generally, not every time, but generally, it protects children from child abuse. And marriage presents the greatest likelihood that the father will remain part of an intact family. Compared to married parents, cohabiting parents are 4 to 5 times more likely to separate by the time their child is aged 5. So marriage can act like a glue. Dads, if you're not married to your children's mother yet, and it's still an option, make the commitment. The state is a poor substitute for caring and committed parents. As Barack Obama said, any man can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a dad. So let me leave you with this powerful short video clip from a US agency whose purpose they say it is to help people deepen their relationship with those who matter most. Maybe have a tissue handy. Oh, and happy Father's Day.
This is slightly intimidating.
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Oh, man.
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Oh, man. Dad, what about me makes you proud?
And I have to answer that one?
Yes.
Just about everything that you do. You're loving. You're funny. I could go on and on.
What makes me proud about you is you just being yourself.
I had trouble with alcohol. It was actually an intervention. Even with all the other people there, you were the real reason that I made the decision to go into the treatment center that I did. And thank you.
Thank you. You're helpful. Yeah, you forgot the funny part.
Your attention to hygiene.
Dad, I'm grateful to you for choosing to stay when I was little. Why am I crying?
At the time when I'm graduating and I'm packing up and leaving, then it's really gonna hit me. And
I think about a time when if you're not around, like that would be awful. But like you're the person that would always laugh.
Dad, I'm grateful because we didn't know how long you were going to be with us, so we're so happy that you're still here. Dad, I'm proud of you for knowing that the most important thing was to just give your kids so much time.
I've always been impressed by you. You made it easy. Thanks.
I miss having the chance to just check in with you. I miss your sketchbooks.
I love you. I love you too. We don't say it enough.
Hey.
I love you, Dad. It doesn't compute until they're gone.